Running can feel hard, genuinely hard, especially when you're just starting out or when you've pushed too much and ended up injuring yourself like I did. I've been through the struggle and I've figured out what makes running easier the right way. So here are 5 tips that changed how running feels for me, and they can help you as well. Tip number 1 is to run slower. This is something that I have been working a lot on recently because I am injured, and the reason that I'm injured is because I didn't implement this tip sooner. I would go out and I would run, and I would run fast or I would run long, and my pace, it wasn't slow. I was gassing myself out. And you have this mindset of going out and running, and if you're not like out of breath at the end of it, it doesn't count, right? But that's wrong. You want to, especially starting out, you really want to go slow. So whatever pace you do for that is fast, you want your pace that is slow to be at least 1 to 2 minutes slower. It sounds really ridiculous, but basically the simplest thing is you want to run slow at a conversational pace. You might even have people who are speed walking, like, go past you. But running slower is going to help you to run faster. It doesn't sound logic, right? But actually, it is true. If you run slower, and over time you can build up and you can focus on speed workouts and longer runs, but just having a specific time of, say, 10 to 15 minutes where you go out and you run a few times per week, and your pace might be really slow. So for me, my slow pace is per kilometer is around the 6 to 6.5, but that might be, like, let's say in miles, it might be around the 10 minutes or 11 minutes per mile. Whatever pace is comfortable for you to hold a full conversation. You want to be able to say a full sentence without, like, breaking or like having to sort of inhale and exhale, You want that pace to be comfortable, so run slower. Tip number 2 is to build consistency. If you think about running, you want to run multiple times per week. You don't want to have one long run that is brutal. You want your body to expect running, and how you build and be able to run for longer is by running more consistently. So I like to run about 3 times per week, but anywhere between 2 or 3 times per week is really, really good to start off with. Now that I've been running for about a year, I do run a lot more, so more around 4, if not 5 times per week. But the most important thing, like we talked about in tip number 1, is to run slower. And so your runs, to build consistency, you want to be able to go and run. To build consistency, you just need to pick, say, 2 to 3 days a week that you go and you run. And you don't have an expectation, or you don't have a distance. You might have a time of, I'm just going to go and run for 15 minutes 3 times per week. And building that consistency is going to help you to run for longer, and it's going to help you to stay consistent. And over time, you can start to build from that and be able to run for longer. But to start off with, to build that consistency, start with just running 2 to 3 times per week and building from there. Not focused on your pace, not focused on the distance, but just going out and running. Tip number 3 is nutrition, making sure that you're fueling your body the right way. So the most important thing with any sort of exercise, not just running, is making sure that you are fueling to be able to perform at your best. Now, it's really crucial that you are fueling before and after. If you are running for 90 minutes or longer, you want to make sure that every hour you have at least some sort of fuel, and that might consist of a gel or dried fruit, but the rule is to have around about 30 carbs per hour. Now, depending on if you are running that distance of 90 minutes or longer, some might like to eat before a run. Now, there's lots of different foods that you can eat before running, but the most important thing is 1 to 2 hours before running, you want to have something that is going to be easy to digest. That can consist of like dates, banana, even oats, but making sure that you are allowing time for it to digest before you run. And then the most important thing, which I struggled with for a long time and still, working on better habits, is fueling after a run. Making sure that I am fueling the right way. So after I run, I make sure that I have a good amount of carbs, a good amount of protein, some healthy fats, but making sure that my diet is healthy and I'm getting enough of each nutrition group kind of thing. Some ideas for a good meal is for breakfast. This is basically what I have like every day. It is overnight oats with protein powder or yogurt, some fruit. In for say dinner or something, it might consist of some rice and chicken and vegetables, or it might be sweet potato or kumara with some vegetables and some sort of meat. It might be steak or mince, ground beef, fish, even vegetarian options like beans and chickpeas, things like that. But making sure that you are fueling your body the right way and having enough carbs and not being afraid of carbs, enough protein, and that. And it's going to look a little bit different for everyone. So make sure that you don't underfuel yourself and that you fuel yourself the right way. Motivation isn't a one-time spark. It's a series of small wins. In order to be able to run and it be easy is to start very, very simple. It can be setting tiny goals such as running for 10 minutes today, or keep pace comfortable this run. These micro wins give your brain reasons to keep going and making running feel mentally easier too. And it's also about just running with other people that can actually motivate you to get out and do it. But motivation isn't something you wait for. It's something you build one run at a time. Tip number 5, and it's definitely the one that is huge, and I've learned it the hard way with getting injured, is rest and recovery. Making sure that you're giving your body enough rest and to recover and be able to perform the next day. Now, you don't need any crazy massage gun, compression boots, or even a foam roller. These things can help, but they're not essential. The most essential thing is sleep and getting enough every single night. Aiming for 7 to 9 hours minimum is essential. And it's interesting because I recently learned that your body, when it is resting and recovering, that is also training time. Your body adapts and gets stronger when it's resting, not just when you're running. It's also important to listen to your body. If it says, I'm tired, respect that. Recovery makes your easy days easier and gives your hard days power. So make sure that you get enough sleep and recover well enough to be able to perform at your best. Running doesn't have to feel like punishment. It gets easier when you respect your pace, fuel your body, and build consistency, not just effort. If you're starting out or coming back from injury, keep it simple, be patient, and trust the process. You will notice the runs feeling lighter step by step. And with these 5 tips that have really helped me, they could really help you. But it's really important to not just rush in and change everything. Pick one of these tips to focus on and build from there. Add another one after some time doing the first one, and so forth. I hope this helps, and keep running, keep going. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace.